Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you my new hammock tent and how I set it up on my roof rack and in my bed and on the ground. So please stay tuned. All that stuff's coming up here in a second. Please consider liking and subscribing. Alright, so I do a lot of camping, and recently I've become obsessed with this idea of hammock tent camping. And for those of you who don't know, hammock tent is just a hammock with like a rainfly over it. And these come in different forms. You can take just a regular hammock and you can string up a tarp over it, and that's a hammock tent. You can make one out of a tarp, like I said, with a regular hammock, or you can buy one that's already set up for this. So the problem I have here in Southern California is I go camping in the desert a lot, and in the desert there are no trees to, well, there are trees, but none sturdy enough or tall enough or with the right spacing to be able to actually tie your hammock to. So I started researching ways to attach my hammock to my truck, and in doing this research I found a really cool hammock stand that slides into the receiver of the truck. But the problem with that is it costs like $1,200, and I'm not trying to spend that kind of money. So I started figuring out ways that I could do this on a budget. And the idea that I've come up with is a hammock stand that you can buy off of Amazon for like $100, and then I have a hammock tent that you can also buy on Amazon for like $100. And I'll have links for everything in the description. So the hammock stand that we have, we bought this a long time ago, and it comes in several pieces. I want to say, they're probably three or 4 foot lengths of pipe that are bent and shaped in a way that you can assemble it together and attach your hammock to. What this hammock stand allows me to do is it allows me to put it on my roof rack, it allows me to put it in the bed of the truck, or it allows me to put it on the ground, and no matter where I put it, I'll have a place to tie my hammock up to. Now the cool thing about this is it fits perfectly on my roof rack, and that's what I'm actually going to show you first. And I'm going to set it up here and show you guys how I do it. And this here is all the stuff you need. I've got these ratchet straps here to actually strap it to the rack so that it won't fall over or anything. This is the hammock tent, and those are the poles that go with it. I don't remember the exact dimensions on this guy, but this is a Rhino Rack platform. I got this off of eTrailer. eTrailer is a website for a lot of RV stuff, truck accessories, stuff like that. This thing cost about $1,200 or $1,300, and I've had it for several years. So for those of you who don't already have a rack like this, this may not be an option for you. And it's definitely way out of the budget that I'm currently discussing here. But if you already have one, this is a perfect setup for what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you it set up here on the roof rack, and then when I'm done, I'm going to move it down into the bed, show you what that looks like, and then we'll set it down up on the ground. So I'm going to assemble this thing in the bed real quick, and then I'm going to toss it up there and strap it down and show you what all that looks like. There you go. The stand's together. Now I'm going to throw it up on the roof rack and show you how I strap that down. So here you can see how it sets up here, and the feet are pretty firmly on this track, and then the feet rest over here. And I've used these are proprietary mount systems for Rhino Rack, and they have little anchor nuts that slide into this track and little Allen screws that screw into those anchors and hold these down. And what I've done is I've adjusted them to where they're kind of keeping this bar from shifting forward or back. And these are also the points that I'm going to use to ratchet strap the stand to the roof rack. So I want to loop the ratchet assembly through this loop. These are also straps that are proprietary to Rhino Rack, and you don't need these type of straps. It's convenient for me. I think you could probably do it with any strap, honestly. So just take this guy like that, loosen it up a little bit. Just like that. Now, for those of you who may consider doing this for yourself, if you have a roof rack, you want to make sure that your roof rack is actually rated for this kind of weight. This Rhino Rack platform is rated for 500 pounds. So I don't have any issues doing this. Not all roof racks are rated for that kind of weight. So you just got to make sure that whatever you're installing this on can handle it. So I'm actually going to leave that one loose. And I'm going to put the center strap on here. And the reason I have this strap on this side is because I'm going to step out on the other side, and I don't want to step on this and trip and fall off the roof rack. So now I'm going to cinch down the other two ends. There you go. So there's the stand, and I'm pulling on this pretty hard. So you can see it's not going anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is string this hammock up over the stand. I already had this set up before, so I just rolled it up like this, and I wouldn't normally store it like this, but I was in a hurry when I took it apart. So I'm just going to unravel this, throw it on the hammock stand, and I'm done. Before I do that, I'll show you another little cool gadget. So this is a ladder I made just for this purpose. And Rhino Rack actually has ladders that mount specifically to this roof rack with the same track system. But again, being budget oriented, that was out of my price range. So I just decided to make one out of wood. And these are white fir. So this is white fir that you can buy at Home Depot, pre-cut into 48-inch sections. And I want to say they're $5 or $6 a piece. So that's what I did. And it just goes just like that. So there you go. That's pretty much how you set up the hammock. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rainfly over it. This is the rainfly that comes with the hammock. And then these poles go through not the rainfly, but the hammock itself. Now when you're setting this thing up, it likes to roll over on you. And if you notice the paracord that's tied to the hammock, that's to keep it from rolling around. And I'll show you what I do with those here in a second. Now there's not a lot of room to walk here. So for those of you who are considering doing this yourself, you have to be very, very careful because that's a long fall. So watch when I let this thing go, how it kind of rolls over like this. So that's what these ropes are for. This first one, I'm not going to get very tight. So I got that right there, right? And then put this one on. And now I can put a little bit of tension on it since I've got one on the other side. All right, so now I'll do the front. And I'll do the other side. And there you go. So those don't have to be super tight. You're just trying to keep the hammock from rolling over in the stand. And that's pretty much it. So the only thing I have left to do is throw that rainfly over it. I'm going to do that right now. This is the brand. Let me get that to show you. It's called Nightcat, and you can find them on Amazon, and I think I got mine next day, so they're readily available and they ship fast. Just make sure you have your opening on the right side. So these I actually bring down about right there, and I'll just shove this carabiner into that hole. So in here, what I'm doing is tying the rainfly to the poles to keep the poles where they need to be. And there's 3 tie points, and then you have this buckle that comes down. So these I'm actually going to readjust and put them around the bottom pole instead of that knob. And then for the front, I'm actually going to open the door and do that. And the way this is set up, you could easily do all this on the ground and then just put the whole thing on the roof. I think in the future that's probably exactly what I'll do, is just do this on the ground because it's a bit easier that way. And then that's pretty much it. So the way I did this before is I had this guy to here to put tension right here, but it doesn't really need it. So there you go. That is the rooftop hammock tent installed. So I'm going to open that guy up real quick and show you what it's like inside. So there you go. So let's climb in and show you what it looks like. It's not too bad. And then they have a quilt that goes underneath that keeps the heat in from underneath. And then you have this mosquito net here. And then these are the ties that I was telling you about. This ties the rainfly to the hammock itself and keeps those poles oriented where they need to be. You can see there's a little gap there. You can see down. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna pull this whole thing down. I'm gonna show you what it looks like set up in the bed. So for those of you who don't have the roof rack option, you can easily set this up in a 6-foot bed and still be just as comfortable. And it's really, really easy to do. So you have to remember when you're climbing out of this, this is what you get. So when you're stepping out, you got to be very careful. All right, I'm gonna get this thing down. I'm gonna set it up in the bed and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And it's super simple. All you gotta do is remove these ratchet straps and you can pick the whole thing up. There you go. That's all there is to it. And just like that, now you have a truck bed hammock tent. And I'll show you with the tailgate closed. So like I said, that's about 6 feet. I have to get the measuring tape out just to check it for sure, but that's about 6 feet. Let me get it real quick. And then I have just this carpet here to make the floor of the bed a little bit more comfortable. So there you go, all the way to the toolbox, and you're at just over 6 feet. So if you've got a 6 foot bed, this will totally work for you. No, that wouldn't work. So if you have a 6 foot bed, you'd probably have to do it with the tailgate down, because this pushes forward. And if your back glass was right here, it wouldn't work. So let's see what that looks like. So yeah, you could pull it out to your tailgate and you would clear your back glass. Or not even to the tailgate, just to the edge there. And I think in a 6 foot bed, you would clear your back glass right there. But the cool thing about using this hammock stand is I don't have to undo the hammock tent. I can just move the whole stand wherever I want. And being in the bed of the truck like this, I can set up a little buddy heater in here to radiate heat up into the hammock. And now, I'm going to pull it out and show you what it looks like on the ground. There you go. On the ground. So, 3 really good positions you can put this thing in. And you don't need any trees or anything like that. You can hammock tent anywhere you want. And all you need is about 200 bucks. All right, so just to show you how easy it is, I'm gonna, from the ground to the roof rack. Now, like I said, you can set all this up on the ground, so you're not struggling with it up there. If I had to guess, this might be 20 pounds. It's really light. It's just a little awkward to carry. And to be quite honest, you don't really need to strap it down. So you could just do that and be done with it. So this is the quilt, and then I have this is a pillow I also got off of Amazon. I don't know the name, but it's a really nice camping pillow. And then this is the quilt. Throw my little pillow in there. It's a little blanket. That's what it looks like with the under quilt on. I'll show you how that hooks up. There's a little drawstring right here, and I just wrap the drawstring around here, cinch it down there, and you got these little guys that wrap around, so you can see the insulation it provides you. All right, guys, so quick little warning and a little review for Nightcat's customer service. I left this thing out here in a storm, and I got it too close to this stump and ripped this rainfly. So, knowing that, you know, it comes with the tent, I called up, well, I didn't call, I emailed Nightcat's support, their customer support, and asked them if it was possible to purchase a new rainfly without getting the whole hammock tent. So they emailed me back and said, hey, we'll give you a returned full hammock with the rainfly, and then that was it, no questions. They just said, hey, we'll just send you a returned one. So I said, okay, I'll take that. That sounds like a great deal. And then they emailed me back and they're like, hey, we can't give you the returned one for whatever reason. So they said we'll just ship you a brand new rainfly. just a little review of Nightcat's customer service. They totally are going to ship me a new rainfly. So when you're setting these things up, just be careful that you don't get it too close to something. But yeah, shout out to Nightcat. That's pretty cool of them. And then it's coming from China, so it'll take a couple weeks to get here, but that's really cool of them to do. Actually, another little review for this thing. It's been snowing here for a few days now, and I think we've got about 6.5, 7 inches. And I've had this thing covered in about 2 to 3 inches of snow multiple times. And it doesn't weigh it down that much. And I think actually if you were sleeping inside, you would totally be fine with 2 or 3 inches of snow on top of you. So yeah, there you go. It's a great tent. All right, so that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy what you saw. Please let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more stuff like this. Please consider liking and subscribing, and until next time, I'll see you later.